Squid Game blew up when the first season released on Netflix, and for good reasons. It's a great concept with a solid cast of interesting characters. Squid Game tells the story of Gi-hun, a man who has lost his job and is in incredible debt to dangerous people. He's offered to take part in a strange game full of other people in extreme debt, and they are given the chance to compete in life or death children's games to win the massive prize money. Today, I want to look at how Squid Game creates choices for the characters and how choices can show the audience who your character is and what they believe. This is why you should study Squid Game. Character choice is what shows us who a character is and how they change over time. When trying to show rather than tell the audience who a character is, the best way is by making them make meaningful choices. I'm sure you've seen plenty of films where the protagonist goes through the motions of the plot, solving each problem, but you aren't engaged. For some reason, you don't care. It's because external conflict is more than just characters solving problems. When you feel this way, the story has made one key mistake. It has left out meaningful choices. What a story is at its core is a series of interesting choices or dilemmas that force a character to decide who they truly are and what they truly want. Choice is the tool of character arc and meaning in a story. Let's go to Squid Game to look at some examples of clear choices. The best way to build a clear choice is to build stakes for both sides of the choice. In Squid Game's pilot episode, the entire first half is dedicated to the difficult choice our protagonist Gi-hun must make. Gi-hun is a gambler with a lot of debt, and after he wins big betting on horse races, loan sharks come to collect. And this is where the story gives us the stakes. The loan sharks force Gi-hun to sign a document saying that if he does not pay the money he owes, then they can take his organs. Gi-hun needs to find a way to make a lot of money soon. Now let me pause. Gi-hun has not yet been presented with a choice. So far, the story is still setting up the stakes. After this, the show sets up more problems for Gi-hun. His mother is getting older and needs him to make money. And we also meet his daughter that he is not able to financially support. 17 minutes in, Gi-hun meets a mysterious man who offers to play a child's game with him for money.
저랑 딱지치기를 하셔서 한 번 이기실 때마다 10만 원을 드리겠습니다.
He loses again and again and gets slapped in the face for each loss. But in the end, he wins and takes his cash prize. And now, he is presented with a choice. Trust this stranger and join a mysterious game to earn money, or figure out another way to handle his debt.
빈자리가 얼마 안 남았습니다. 연락 주십시오.
Now we enter into the debate. This is where the character struggles with the choice, and the show ups the stakes on Gi-hun again. He learns that his daughter is moving to the US. He will likely not see her for a very long time. However, his mother tells him if he could financially support her, then he could get custody. This is the final straw for Gi-hun. Knowing the loan sharks are coming and his daughter is going to leave, he makes his choice and joins the game.
저 낮에 명함 받은 사람인데요.
게임에 참가를 원하십니까?
So to review, the show establishes the stakes for Gi-hun and his current dire struggle against the loan sharks, presents him with a choice, a mysterious other way, then increases the stakes by having his daughter move away, therefore pushing him into action and making him choose to join the game. In episode 2, Gi-hun is presented with a new choice. At the end of the pilot, he barely survives the first game, learning that losing means you die. Now, many participants want to leave, and there is a new choice presented. The participants are free to leave, but there are costs to the choice. If they leave, they will get no money and return to their old lives to find a different way to pay their debts. And Gi-hun is the first to vote, and he votes to end the game. And the contestants enter into the debate state. The conflict is about the choice and the different viewpoints characters have about the choice, not just conflict to solve a problem or quippy lines to add flair.
여기서 희망이라도 있지. 나가면 아무것도 없어. 나한테 끝까지 해봅시다.
And in the end, player one chooses to end the game. Choice made. But now, when the contestants get out, they are reminded of the difficulty of their outside lives. They are reminded of the stakes of the outside world. And now they know the stakes of the game. And we enter a debate again. Is it really better out here? For each of our characters, their normal world is full of crippling debt and constant struggle. Then our characters are presented with the option to return to the game, a new choice with clear stakes. Join the games with a chance to win the money but with a high risk of dying, or stay in the outside world and try to survive against the loan sharks, bosses, and the law that is coming after our characters.
아이 그래도 거기는
여기가 더 지옥이야.
And in the end, many characters choose to return. The entire episode is simply about this choice. It shows us the entire pros and cons of whether or not they should return. The first 2 episodes of Squid Game give great examples for understanding the mechanism behind how you build a choice in a story. Now, let's look at the meaning of the choices your characters make. In episode 3, there's a choice that Sang-woo makes that shows us who he is. Gi-hun and Sang-woo form an alliance with 2 other players. And before the next game begins, Sang-woo figures out what the game will be. Now he has a choice. Does he share this information with his team or keep it to himself?
어떻게 할까?
Sang-woo, knowing that the stakes are life and death, chooses not to help his team.
우리 팀 다 같이 움직일까?
그건 위험할 수도 있어.
Gi-hun asks Sang-woo what he thinks is best, and Sang-woo chooses to sabotage his team and tells them to split up. Because of this choice, the audience now knows who Sang-woo is more clearly. The choices a character makes define who they are. Choices reveal character, and choices reveal character belief. Through this moment, we understand that Sang-woo is out for himself alone and will do anything it takes to win. Through this choice, the writers have shown us that Sang-woo is not truly working with his team, rather than having some character tell us that he's deceitful. And you can do the same for your characters. Give them a meaningful choice, make them choose, and the audience will understand who your character is. Episode 4 takes this a step further. Rather than simply having the characters make decisions that show us who they are, the show makes philosophical statements about how to live. Let's look at an example. The contestants must form teams of 10 for the next unknown game. This is the first important choice we will look at. Again, the stakes are life and death. Who they choose to be on their team may determine whether or not they survive this game. Sang-woo chooses to send his team out to find men, but Gi-hun challenges him on this, and they have a short debate.
그러다가 고무줄이나 공기 놀이 같은 거 그런 거 시키면은 그런 거 여자들이 더 잘하잖아.
그럴 수도 있지만 확률상 남자들이 유리한 게임이 더 많아. 지금 우리 목숨을 베팅하는 거야. 어느 쪽에 걸 거야?
But Sang-woo wins out. However, when the team returns with another woman, Sang-woo protests, but Gi-hun chooses to let her stay, also allowing Han Min-yo to join as well. They move forward with a team that seems weak, and immediately there is a cost. They reach the game, tug of war, a game favoring physical strength. And the first 2 teams up proves this. Player 101's team wins handedly as they are the strongest. Our team's choice has been made, and as they ride the elevator up, they believe they are doomed. But, just in the nick of time, Player 1 gives a strategy that could help them win against a stronger team.
줄다리 일은 힘으로만 하는 게 아니야. 잘 들어봐. 지금부터 내가 그때 어떻게 이겼는지 그걸 말해줄게.
And ultimately, our main characters survive the game. But it seems like they survive through plot armor, not because they made the right choice. So what statement is the story making here? In my research for this video, I came across the Brain in a Vat podcast discussing the philosophy of Squid Game, and they had thoughts on this moment as well.
Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like about the show. As if there's not ever a true dilemma between what's in your prudential interests and what's going to benefit the poor and marginalized groups. The underlying assumption seems to be that it's rational because it's ultimately the path to prosperity for yourself. And I think that's wrong because that's factually inaccurate. There really are trade-off cases that have to be made.
The show can make this philosophical statement. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you watched my video on fixing Interstellar's ending, you'll know that there is one clear mistake the story makes here. There is no cost to choosing a weaker team. Costs and stakes create a true dilemma. If they want the audience to resonate with the message, there needs to be a cost to the choice the characters made. So to make this moment resonate, forcing the characters to sacrifice in some way as they are losing the game would have made their struggle feel more genuine. When your characters are given plot armor, it destroys the power of the choices you give them. And also, through this, you can see that the show is making a philosophical claim about life and how it should be lived. Through this episode, it proposes that, even if it seems like your interests are not aligned, you should help those in need.
Seems like what's going on here is some sort of virtue ethics, that certain virtues are extremely important and they guide what is permissible or impermissible.
Maybe the show really is taking a stance on virtues being really important to moral character.
There is an ethical and moral level to all good storytelling, and a show that has clear choices built in will be making thematic philosophical statements about life and how to live. External conflict is not simply characters solving problems. It is the characters debating hard choices that brings the philosophical conflict into the external world and allows us to actually watch the character change specifically through the choices the characters make. If you are going to build a clear choice for your character, you need to establish the stakes, present your character with the choice, increase the stakes as they debate what to do, make your character choose, then allow them to experience the consequences of their choice. And if you're interested in working with me to identify and solve every major problem in your feature-length screenplay, then click the link below and we can discuss working together one-on-one on your script. Thanks for watching.